watching guys. Welcome to another deck profile. Today we're going to be going over the Blastoise list that we are playing in the U150 tournament. Now this Blastoise list is actually a little bit underwhelming. I thought Blastoise was going to be a lot better, and we thought Blastoise was going to be a lot better, but apparently it's actually not as good as we initially anticipated it. So we're going to actually be playing a 3-3-3 Blastoise line. Using these Blastoises here. We have the one from Unleashed, the one from Platinum, and the one from Boundaries Crossed. Now they all kind of work in tandem together, and it's a very good starter deck for those people that are looking at trying to, hey, this is what U150 kind of is. It's very simple in nature to design and to pilot and whatnot, but in terms of strength, that's actually where it's lacking a lot of. There is not a lot of overall raw power here. So the main idea is to get out of this Deluge Blastoise here, energy rain a whole bunch of waters onto your Pokemon. Mainly this one's got Hydro Launcher. You can snipe for 100 damage and return the 2 water energies. So between these two, you can basically snipe anything on their side of the field for 100 damage, that being Claydolls, Porygons, that sort of thing. And this Porygon from Platinum, it's once during your turn, you can look at the top 3 and take waters and attachment any way you like. That way you can get extra waters if you don't have this one out, or if you don't want to commit the EX spot, you can still get a few waters out with this one. That's the reason we played these 3. There is the Blastoise EX from 5 Red Leaf Green if you're looking for additional acceleration, but generally just getting this Blastoise out will be enough. So, what are your attackers going to be is the question of the day. We'll move this down here to the corner. Your attackers, we got 5 water basic attackers for you. We got Black Kyurem, Regular Kyurem, Kuno, Regice, and Suicune. These are the ones that we have found to be the best in terms of just raw attackers. 4 of them are non-EX and 1 of them is an EX. This is the EX. You're really not going to use this one as much as the others because they pretty much do the same amount of damage, but this one does it for less energy and has a 30-30 snipe. This Black Kyurem here is a promo, so it's not an EX and it wasn't reprinted at all. It's 60 for 3 or 120 for 4. And it's weak to metal. Actually, these 4 are all weak to metal, surprisingly, and this one's weak to grass. Your Blastoises are all weak to something else, right? Grass, lightning, lightning. So you have your weaknesses covered, just as a random side point. But like I said, this is kind of baby's first deck, so you get this Blastoise out and you can charge up any of these fairly easily to whatever you might need. This is going to take an additional prize. These 2 are going to block against EXs. These 2 are going to swing hard against stuff. Pretty simple stuff there. They all have a fairly hefty amount of HP, and also a fairly hefty amount of retreat cost. These 3 are all Heavy Ball searchable. I'm pretty sure this deck does play Heavy Ball because Blastoise, that Blastoise, and I think all 3 of them? Nope. Sorry, the 2 main Blastoises here are both 3 retreat or higher. So those are the attackers you're going to play. Nothing too special there. And then you're going to be playing the standard 10 that we like to play in every single one of our decks. This Porygon line, this is your main draw, support or bench sitters. These are the best cards for either starting or supporting you midway through the game. These 10 are in almost any single deck. These are the 2 Porygons we are opting to play right now, by the way. There is a free retreat Porygon that you could play if you like the free retreat, but Calculate has come in clutch points, and so has Data Sort. So this is why we go with the ones from Great Encounters and Aquapolis. We're going to go ahead and move on to supporters. This deck is actually very, very vanilla, so most of the supporters you're going to see are just your standard-looking support, or standard-looking cards that are in a lot of decks. AZ, you always want either AZ or Brimies. I think AZ is a little bit better because you have EXs that you want to pick up. Wally's in every deck. Guzma is in every deck. This card is actually a lot more busted than we thought. We knew it was good, we just didn't know it was this busted. Guzma's amazing. Copycats in every deck, Sycamore's in every deck. Fisherman's something that you don't see in every deck, but you see it here because it's a way to quickly accelerate 4 energies in the mid-game. Energies are going to hit the discard pile fairly easily with this deck, so a way to accelerate 4 with Blastoise is going to be big. Skyla in almost every deck. This card is actually in a fair amount. I really am liking Skyla more and more as just a one-of index to grab stuff. This can also turn into a draw support because you can grab Professor Oak with it, so it kind of works that way. It's like a pseudo Juniper. Just have to burn your Oak for it. So, Lysander and Lysander's trump card in every single deck. You still want to play Lysander and Guzma because that effect is just too busted. Trump cards in every deck. Teammates, I don't know if it's in necessarily every deck, but the more and more I play, the more and more I want teammates and everything. Everyone plays Claydol, so Karina's a good sense because Skyla's good, so being able to grab like your Claydol bit turn 2 plus an Oak is awesome. Professor Juniper is in every deck, and therefore Professor Sycamore. Did I already go through Sycamore? I already went through Sycamore, didn't I? I can't find it. Professor Juniper, really, really good card. N is in every deck, and by extension, Rocket's Admin in every deck as well. Early game it's going to draw you 8, late game it's going to just, it does a lot of cool combos. One of the best late game cards in the game. Mallow, this is the reprint of Oracle, and Oracle is super good in a lot of decks because of the Claydols and Porygon 2. Being able to just search a deck for any 2 cards at any time as long as you have those online is amazing. I haven't been convinced to play both Mallow and Oracle in a lot of decks yet, but that's something I am working with. The Empoleon deck that we're going to go over later today has both, and it works well. Babies is in every deck, Chorus in every single deck, Collector, early game search. I think you only need 1. You can play stuff like Bridget, wow, I already been Hollow Mentor, Lynette's Net Search, that sort of thing to search out 3 cards, but really 1 is good enough. After that, it's a very, very dead card outside of turn 1 or turn 2. Marley's Request for that extra recovery, Oaks and Etheria in every single deck. Hex, this card is busted. It needs to go in everything, period. And Roseanne's Research, it's your other collector. I play this over the other ones because it can search out 2 energies. And with this deck, when you search out those 2 energies, they can go right to your field. So it kind of works as a supporter Professor's Letter, or, whatever have. Going on to items here, these are all fairly standard items. Again, there was just going to be a couple exceptions. Your Rescue Stretcher, very standard. Oak, also very, very standard. Super Rod, standard as well. Level Ball, standard. Here's a Professor's Letter. This isn't standard, but like I said, in this deck, when you want to search out energies, look no further than Professor's Letter. If you play both of these in combination, you're just accelerating 4 energies. That's charging up that promo Kyurem that we saw in 1 turn. So, as long as you have that Blastoise out. Junk Arm, standard. Escape Rope is one card that I always I'm on the fence about, like Escape Rope, Warpoint, do I need these, do I not need these? I generally end up including them in most decks just because there are situations where Escape Rope is hurting them more so than not. An example of it would be a turn you Hex, and they can't do anything, so they send up a Pokemon that they want to get killed, something like an Uxie or a Lapras or something that just take a hit. Escape Rope can really put a block in their plans there. Versus Seeker in every deck. Scoop Up in every single deck. Misty's Wrath in every deck. 100% in every deck. Pokemon Communication, every deck. Computer Search, definitely in every deck. If you know me, I love my Imposter Evokes Invention. This deck can win games. It did win a game in our tournament already. We're 4 rounds into our tournament, and this already won a game. It won against Lost World. It didn't prize Lost World, but it prized something else important. Evo Soda in almost every deck. Superior Energy Retrieval, I think this is the only item-based retrieval that we play from the discard because it's kind of all you need. Most of your acceleration is going to come from the deck because Trump card gets played every so often. So just 1 Superior is fine. You can also play Super Energy Retrieval, the old original print, or you can play Energy Retrieval or Energy Retrieval 2, that sort of thing. So, Pal Pad in every deck. It is a water deck, so you're going to play Dive Ball, super good. This can also search out Lapras, don't ever forget that. Luxury Ball in every single deck. Swoop Teleporter in every deck, Ultra Ball in every deck, Acrobike in a lot of decks, but not every deck. Decks that don't mind discarding stuff, you can go with Acrobike instead of Pokédex Handy. Item Finder, just like Junk Arm in every deck. Bill combos well with Mallow and just to draw 2 cards. Field Blower or Windstorm, you don't need both, just one of them. And then you have Breeder and Rare Candy to finish it out. Very, very standard looking stuff. This is kind of a baby's first deck. There aren't a lot of random cool stuff that I want to show you. I'm just giving you the list so you know what's going on. These 3 stadiums, I think these are good. You have a search, you have a heal, you have the best stadium ever to be printed. No reason to play less, no reason to play more. You could cut this if you want to have different search or recovery. You could put stuff like Power Tree if you're worried about energy coming back to your hand, but I mean, that's never really a problem for the deck. So these 3 are your easy inclusion stadiums. Looking at tool cards now, there's 4 we're going to look at. We're going to Choice Band, Floatstone, Muscle Band, Fighting Fury Belt. Floatstone and Muscle Band are in almost every single deck. You play a lot of basics, so this in combination with Rough Seas is going to be really good for those big beefy hitters that you're trying to hit cool numbers with. And then Choice Band, because there are this is really good with Articuno. If you're, if you hit an EX once or twice, you can then finish it off with a Choice Band. Having different ways to add damage to said Articuno is awesome. Then the Elite Four, we're going to have all 4 of them. No reason not to play any of them in this deck. And then Dowsing Machine is going to be your A-Spec, probably the best A-Spec in the game. I like it over Computer Search way more than anything else. So there's that. And last but not least, we're going to be looking at energies here. DCE is the only special you're going to play. There are a lot of your attackers that do attack off of DCE, so it makes sense to do that. And then for energies, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 energies. More than enough. You're going to draw onto them, and the moment you draw onto them, they're just going to go onto the field because you have Blastoise out. General strategy for the game is you want to get that BCR Blastoise out right away, if you couldn't tell by now. So, that about does it. If you have any questions on Blastoise, feel free to ask. I think it is an underwhelming deck, but it is a good starter deck for a lot of people out there. If you're looking at just a simple deck to play in U150, this is one of the best. So, thanks for watching.